Hello, everybody.
Hi, y'all.
I'm going to apologize. First off, my voice is basically shot. So I've recruited Shannon today.
Yep,
My
I'm
back.
on here to help her as much as I can. Um, Hi, Lila and Colleen. That's all I see so far. Um,
Glad y'all came in.
yeah, thanks for coming in. Lila says, received your letter today, Shannon. Thank you so much. I pray you're feeling better today. Today, I've had a good day. Yes, today, and not so much yesterday for part of the day, but the day before, I think it was, I felt good too. So I'm making it.
That's awesome.
Yep. Now we just got to pray for Sherry. She needs to feel better.
Sherry's had spaghetti legs today.
Oh, I
It
can
took
imagine it's really
forever to get anything done.
right.
But oh well. I'm out of the bed anyway.
Yeah.
Willis.
Hi, Willis Dockery. How are you doing? Hello from Georgia. I wasn't sure where you were from. Hi, Miss Brenda. Have supper going, so not sharing links for a few. That's okay. I got a little girl that's just wanting the attention so bad.
I showed my husband a picture of a dog today, and that's like, this is what I want. I don't think I'll be getting it. But anyway.
Does he not like animals or not want
Yeah,
animals?
yeah.
Huh?
We have a big German Shepherd.
Oh, okay.
But I want a toy Maltese.
Yeah. I want a toy. I want a little Yorkie, a toy Yorkie, I guess, or whatever they call them.
He's like, you
Teacup. That's what I mean.
not a toy. I can't even think. There I go again. I told you.
Teacup. Yes.
Yeah. And anyway, he's like, because I'm allergic to like everything. Seems like, but he's like, you would be allergic to it. You'd be sick all the time. Then I told him the price, and so that kind of probably sealed the deal.
Yeah, they're not so. They're
Yeah,
not so cheap at all.
they run up to $2,000. He said, and then if something happens to it and it dies, you've lost all your money.
I know. Yeah, I would love. I mean, I would have more dogs if we didn't travel, but it's hard with two to travel.
He's like, oh, we can bring Buddy in. I'm like, I'm not having a horse in my house.
Of course.
He is big.
Yeah, I'm not so sure about a big dog in the house unless it's cold winter time, of course. Not unless they had a heated outside cage or something,
Yeah,
but my dogs stay just as comfortable as I am. My little ones, anyway.
yeah.
I don't have no big ones, so um,
This one is a horse. He's a mess too. He's a big, overgrown, uh, spoilt little heathen.
yes,
We
these
love German shepherds. We've kept one for years,
they're so pretty.
and we used to have one that would. He loved chips. That was one of his favorite things.
Really,
So we'd take a bag of chips and open it, and we'd be outside and we'd just lay it on the ground. He'd stick his mouth in there and grab one at a time and eat those chips.
that's so funny.
Got the kick out of that.
That's so funny.
Um, Today our guest is going to be, I think it is, her name is, got several to it. It's Live, Laugh, Love with Jen. Um, she does a lot of organization videos, house cleaning videos, some cooking. She's got an outstanding story to tell. She's a heart failure survivor. I think
Oh
she
wow.
two uh, cardiac arrests and has been through a whole lot. Can you hear me good?
Yeah, I can hear you.
So I'm going to jump in and I'm going to put a section of one of her videos up while we're waiting on her to get here. And yeah, I'm gonna let you guys check her out.
Silent treatment in your cup, baby, we don't need to touch. Sorry if I'm making this hard. Now I'm just wondering where we are. I don't wanna face the consequences, but baby, yeah, you know I hate second guessing. I'm just wondering where we are. Drifting into space, keep
love her
driving on the
flowers.
freeway. Baby, let me know what you were thinking. Baby, let me know what you were thinking.
I would love to be able to open my drawer to reorganize it and just have that much stuff in it.
I like to have only
Right.
things I use on a daily basis in my nightstand drawer. So
It didn't work
that's
that
what I
way
was
for me.
doing. I was getting rid of things that have just piled up and putting it all back together again.
Never coming down. Look at me the way you do. Keep giving myself into you. You know that I hate this part. Surprised we ever got this far. We did go through all the circumstances, but baby, yeah, you know I hate second chances. Surprised we ever got this far. Drifting into space. I watch you as you sleep. You don't know I'm looking. With you, everything's complete. Do you know how much I love you? I put your favorite song on just to wake
I
you
love
up.
what she can do with live.
When
That's
I'm
pretty.
around, I can't help but feeling just loving
Not that
this
talented.
moment. Can we stay here forever? I'm loving
My sister
this
keeps doing
moment.
it.
Can we stay here to
I realize that it's snowing outside, but I am in the process of taking my bathing suits out of one of my drawers and putting some hoodies in this drawer. So it's just something I've needed to do and I put off doing. So now I'm getting that done.
together? If I could stop the time, don't you know that I would? 'Cause I'm
He's way more organized than me.
this moment.
Definitely.
Can we stay here
I'm not that organized.
forever? Forever.
We just done a collab, and that's what
Forever.
this video is from.
I'm loving
With
this
Small Town
moment.
6. It's her
We stay
cleaning challenge.
here
that
forever.
It's going to be doing
I'm
every
loving
month
this
this year.
moment.
And,
Can we stay here
it was definitely
forever?
inspired me to
I'm
try to
loving
be
this
more organized.
moment. Can we stay here
Now with her music, I'm having a
forever?
hard time hearing
I'm
each
loving
other.
this moment. Just loving this moment. Can we stay here forever? I'm loving this moment. Can we stay here?
I'm definitely going to try to be more organized.
If I could stop the time, don't you know that I would? 'Cause I'm
See, my clothes are not even folded that neat.
this moment.
I mean, they're folded, but they're not that neat.
Forever,
It's awesome.
forever, forever.
Brenda said me neither. I would have to say good luck with that.
I'm working in my kitchen. I'm going to finish up my
Do
kitchen
you know
cabinets here in
I'm
the next little bit. I've
looking?
got started on them. But
I have a drunk. Yeah, I have a drunk
I have
See, I can't
boxes
even
that I
talk.
keep in the top
A
of my
junk
closet,
drawer
and
in
I
my
have
kitchen.
uh,
A drawer.
mine looks like a drunk's been in there. All right, I've got one more junk drawer to go through.
They sound too much alike.
Anyway, Jen is in the house.
All right.
So go ahead and add her. How
Hi.
are you?
Hi.
Hi,
How are you
Jen.
guys doing? Hi. How are you doing?
How are you? Good. How are you?
I'm
This
good,
is my
thank you.
friend, Shannon. I brought her to be some voice support for me.
Thank you. It's nice to meet you.
Brenda said, I think we all have a drunk drawer.
She said drunk drawer too.
A drunk drawer. I have
One of mine needs to be cleaned out. Definitely.
We were just enjoying. I showed them some snippets of your collab video you just put up.
Oh, thank you.
You are very organized. Very.
Thank you. I was a teacher for 15 years, so it just kind of is something that's in my blood, I guess. From
Yeah.
doing that.
I'm trying to be more organized. All this collabing we're doing has inspired me.
Yes,
Watching
exactly.
all this, and I'm like, oh, my drawers need to look like that. My closet needs to look like that.
Yes, that's one thing I love about YouTube is the inspiration that you can watch other videos and you know you can be inspired to better yourself as well.
Exactly. I'm going to let you go ahead and start off and tell about your channel and a little bit about what you do, and then take off on your story. It's an awesome story. I can't wait to hear it.
Okay, my channel name is Live Laugh Love with Jen. I started my channel about 3 years ago, and I was not consistent the first year. And the second year, I was very consistent. I do organizing, cleaning. I do some wellness type videos, just basically lifestyle. And I was really into it. And about 2 years ago, I got a virus and got sick. And that led to my heart journey and put my YouTube journey on hold as well. So about 2 years ago, my husband went out of town and he came back and he was sick, and we didn't really know what he had. And then I got sick February of 2020. I went to the doctor and they told me I was having bronchial spasms, and they gave me an inhaler. But I just could not get better. We kept going back and forth to the doctor, and then the pandemic hit, and it was hard to get to the doctor, and I was doing, visits over the phone and that kind of thing. And I ended up in the hospital, and the virus had caused 7 blood clots. And at the time, they did not know it was a virus. So they were checking me for cancer and all kinds of things. And it was the first experience that I had had in the hospital, and I was completely alone because they did not allow visitors. So I was extremely afraid and scared and lonely, and not knowing what was wrong with me. While I was in the hospital, the blood clots did attack my heart, and it put me into myocarditis and heart failure. And I was in the hospital for a total of 2 months. I don't remember much about it because during the time that I was in the hospital, I had 2 cardiac arrests, and I coded. And they actually let my husband come in on one of those occasions to say goodbye. They did not think I would make it. But fortunately, I had prayer warriors behind me, and I was on a ventilator for a couple of weeks, or I don't really know how long, but I was on the ventilator for a while, and I made it back. And then I had to learn to walk again and just do normal things again. And last year, I really focused on my health and did not do as much YouTube. My heart function, a normal heart function is between 55 and 65. My heart function when I was in the hospital was at 10%. So they put a defibrillator in when I was in the hospital. This time last year, my heart function was up to 20%, which is still not great. By May, my heart function was up to 45%. So I'm getting closer to being back to that 55%. And actually, I go next Monday for another echo to measure my heart function, and I'm so hopeful that it's up to 55%, or even just 50% would be great. It also damaged the size of my heart and the shape of my heart. And the doctors told me that it would always be damaged. When they did that echo in May, it was fine. The defibrillator that they put in did malfunction in May, and I had to go to the hospital for that, and I had to get a defibrillator revision. So I've had surgeries and all kinds of stuff happen. So that's my story.
Oh my goodness, that's horrible. So sorry.
I know it's a lot to process, and yeah, but that's mine. It's been 2 years, two very rough years with a lot of trauma that I went through. And just getting my strength and energy back has been, hard in and of itself. And considering that my YouTube channel is mainly cleaning and organizing and stuff like that, it made it hard to get back to doing YouTube.
I can imagine. Your channel is really an inspiration, though. Just the little time that I've known you, you have a beautiful home, and I can tell you put a lot of pride into it.
Thank you so much. Whenever I first came home from the hospital, I wrote out a healing verse, and I just have that where I can see it every day, and I've just been like, believing and healing and trying to keep my strength up and that kind of thing. So I was very fortunate, because a lot of people do not get that fortunate, and the percentage of people that survive a cardiac arrest is not very high, and the fact that I survived too is like miraculous in and of itself. But before I got sick, I was completely healthy. I had no issues at all.
Wow.
So it was kind of like, you go to bed one night and you're fine and you're healthy, and you wake up the next day and, your life has changed.
That's so sad.
There's two words that come to me is "but God."
Exactly.
You've been left here for a reason.
Right.
Exactly.
He's got more plans for you, and maybe to help others. Through
Right.
what you-
And like doing things like this, like just
Yes.
to share my story, if I can help one person, then I feel like then that's my purpose and that's what I want to do. I mean, even, just to help one person, and also to bring awareness that heart issues can happen to healthy young people. I mean, you do not have to be older. You do not have to, lack exercise or eat fast food every day. It can happen to even healthy people. And I think that's an awareness that we need as well, especially for women with heart disease.
It's something I think that needs to be put more focus on, because you can be walking around with it and never even know it, and then it hits you, and then in some cases there's nothing that can be done.
Exactly. And through this journey, I found out that a lot of women, I mean, not a lot, but some women actually develop this when they're pregnant. They develop postpartum. They go into postpartum heart failure. So, they have a new baby and they're dealing with this too. So I cannot imagine what that struggle must be like for them. So I think definitely some attention needs to be brought to that, because I think we just automatically think heart disease and we think bad lifestyle choices and getting older. And that's not the case.
I know a girl, she was probably, I'm going to say maybe early 30s. She was just in Walmart, and she complained. I know of her, I don't know her personally, but she started complaining with her jaw hurting, and she didn't make it. She was gone
Oh my goodness.
like that.
Very scary.
It is. And especially in women, your heart is a silent killer. I've heard of it, like that, and I think there does need to be more awareness and
Right.
more focus. And me as myself, I need to focus more on it, because it does run in my family, and I need to put more of a focus on it. We have a few more people that stepped in.
Okay.
Hello, Gail. Comfort of my home says, "You are so strong, Jen." Roberta. Gotcha.
Hi, Roberta. Hi, Gail. And comfort of my home.
Thanks, Brenda, for sharing.
Comfort
with
of my home is my friend Tracy. So hey, Tracy.
Oh, hi, Tracy.
Hey.
Yeah, I have trouble with my heart racing. I have to take medicine for a high heart rate. Well, it's not really real high, but it can run up to 120 just by getting up out of bed.
Wow.
So,
Okay.
so I take medicine for that. But that's not fun.
No, it's not. And I think sometimes too, as women, just from some experiences that I know as women, if we go to, say, the emergency room and we feel like something's wrong with our hearts, sometimes it's coined as anxiety. And just
Mhm.
you're having anxiety, just go home and relax. And I think sometimes with men, it's taken a little bit more seriously. So when they come in with chest pains, that's just from my personal experience. So
I think it is.
that's another thing, just, focusing on women and their health.
Right.
I think a lot of things is uh, shoved off on anxiety and panic attacks. That there's a deeper root, but there's so
Exactly.
much of it that it's just a standard thing now, and they're just it's the reason for everything when it's not.
Exactly.
And but yeah, you have got an awesome story.
Thank you.
But so, what's the plans for your channel for this year?
I am getting back onto a schedule this year. I'm putting out at least one video a week so far. I hope to do more than one video a week. I'm getting back into organizing, that kind of thing. I also want to get into to integrate some of my heart stuff in with my channel. So
It's
I want to do like some low sodium recipes, and just talk about health and heart issues any chance I get. Even if I have to incorporate that in with cleaning and organizing, I do want that to be part of my channel.
definitely.
Because I did realize throughout this journey that in the beginning, whenever I had my YouTube channel, it was about everything, I wanted everything perfect and, everything in its place. And after you go through a life altering event, that's not so important anymore. Like, as long as it's as long as it's somewhere, that's okay. It doesn't have to be perfect. So I don't want to, like, do this whole perfection thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want people to think that things are perfect. I want things to be
Let
real.
your house be a home.
Yes, exactly.
And hello, Grace. Glad you came in.
Hi, Grace.
And
So, where are you from? If you don't mind me asking.
Oh, no, I don't mind at all. I live in North Carolina.
Oh, okay.
oh,
Yes.
she's down there with I think that's where Michelle
Michelle?
from Michelle's Southern Home Cooking is
I
from.
think so. Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Okay, I'm from outside of Charlotte, if you know where that is. So,
I've heard of it.
yes.
It's
So,
beautiful around there. Mhm.
it is. We've had a lot of snow lately, but which is very unusual for us. But yes.
We got barely a dusting, and it didn't last no time. It was gone.
Really, we got snow. My birthday was last weekend, and we got snow on my birthday, and it's just now melted. So it took
Really,
over a week.
wow. Which I'm not a snow person,
Me neither.
and
It was pretty, but
yeah,
Oh, yes.
it's pretty. I like it, but I don't have to have it.
exactly.
I don't mind seeing it on the TV, but I don't want to deal with it.
Exactly.
Oh,
I mean, it was my birthday, so I did like walk out in the snow and do those.
yes.
Yeah,
And those are things that you do enjoy more. Like, I don't know, not I wouldn't say enjoy more, but you take the time to do when you've had an experience like I had.
Mhm.
So you do take time to get out in the snow and just enjoy like the way it feels and that kind of thing.
well, everybody would be better off if we took time for the small things, and it took time to appreciate.
Right. And I
Our
think that was
brain
a wake up
list.
call for me too. Yeah.
That's been one of my goals I'm trying to work on this year is more positivity, more purposeful living.
Yes.
And I don't know.
And just living in that moment and feeling
Mhm.
whatever those feelings are of that moment instead of, focusing on, what you need to do or, even focusing on what you've done previously, or like beating yourself up over things in the past and that kind of thing. I like the focus of the here and now and the present and just enjoying the little moments because, those come and then they're gone. So,
Right. Just
You know,
live in the moment.
there's, and I would say probably 80% of the time, it's the little moments that are going to mean more than the big moments.
Exactly. I
Yeah.
agree with that.
In the long run. It's the
Exactly.
little things and the little ways you reach out and touch people's lives that are going to mean more
Hmm.
than the big things.
And that is one thing that I do remember about waking up in the hospital. I woke up with like a, I guess, refreshed um, look on life, like kind of this sense of forgiveness and just kind of being happy that I was there and not focused on anything negative. So that was nice.
So
That
did
was
you?
the good thing that came out of the hospital experience.
Right. So did you realize anything was going on, or you just?
Um, yes, I knew that something had happened. And when the nurses would come in the room, they would kind of whisper, "She's so young," and I knew that something was wrong. But not like I didn't think I was gonna die or anything like that. I didn't really know.
Right.
So
Wow,
yeah,
that's crazy.
yes, it is.
Pardon
So
me.
sorry you're sick.
Roberta says she missed the part of why Jen was in the hospital.
I had a virus and I got to the point that I could not walk. And so I went to the doctor and they sent me straight to the hospital. And I had 7 blood clots.
Wow.
And it was from a virus.
That's
It's
crazy. What that can cause.
they're pretty sure that I did not test positive for COVID. And at first they ruled out COVID. When they tested my antibodies in August of 2020, I did not have any antibodies, but now it's a presumed COVID case.
Wow.
Just from going by other experiences, because this was like, brand new at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So just with the blood clots and this perfect storm that happened inside my body, which basically my immune system was working so hard to fight whatever was actually wrong, that it started attacking my organs and everything.
Yeah.
So it was like this little perfect storm.
Yeah, that stuff is bad stuff, hurts people in different ways.
It does, yes.
And if you have medical trouble already, it seems to be worse. But I mean, if you don't, normally you don't have that much trouble, but I guess we're just all different.
Exactly. We're all different. And so you just don't know how different things are going to affect you. So, and just like when I was at home and I was doing like the televisits and that kind of thing, no one ever expected that it was something like really, major that could be wrong with me, because like I would spike a fever and then it would kind of go away, and then I would spike I just couldn't get over whatever it was. So, but nobody like had any idea that it was anything like it was.
Wow.
Wow.
So
That's
it was a bad time to get sick, but it could have been any kind of virus. We don't know what it was exactly 100%. It's just presumed to be that, but it could have been anything. So,
I think people respond to it differently.
exactly.
It takes a different toll differently on everybody. Her channel name is Live, Laugh, Love, Jen.
I
So
like that name.
you could drop
Thank
a
you.
link to her channel. I appreciate it.
We should all live, laugh, and love
Yes.
every day.
Exactly. And whenever I named that channel, I had named it something else when I first started it, and like on a whim, I decided I wanted to change it. And so like it just really seems to resonate with me now, more so than whenever I first named it Live, Laugh, and Love with Jen. So especially like when it like live and laugh and live in the moment and that kind of thing. So
Nah.
Very important words.
yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
But Carpenter Self Reliance, thanks for coming in.
Hey, carpenters.
If anybody's got any questions for Jen, are you open to answering any questions?
Yeah, I will answer any questions. They're fine. Yes, sure.
Feel free to ask them. And
I'm just not very good with live stuff. I'll go ahead and tell you that's not my
Join the
not my
crowd.
thing. But
Join the crowd because you're talking to somebody that's usually very shy, very quiet.
well, and that's how I am. But like, if you guys were like, well, I taught fourth grade mainly, so if you guys were like 9 or 10, I would have no issues at all. I would like sing and dance and do whatever in front of you guys. But you know, like being adults is harder.
I understand. I understand.
Bomber Steve said, "Hey, Southern Roots just cut a 4-foot brown snake out of bird netting. He's off to some rehab and care."
Oh, wow.
Carpenter Self Reliance want to know if we can. I don't can personally.
No, I don't either. I never have. I would love to.
Do you
I do
can?
not.
I would love to.
Amazon has a canner that an electric canner, not canner. That shows you how much I know about it. Pressure canner thing that I'm interested in. I'm just afraid I would get to canning the stuff, then we wouldn't eat it all, and then it's going to be wasted.
See, and I would like to do freeze drying. That's what I want to
I
do.
want one of those freeze dryers that they are getting so popular now.
That's what I want to do. Freeze dry some bananas and whatever.
And they're going and buying the mixed vegetables, like
Mhm.
frozen ones, and freeze drying them, making snacks. You can freeze dry candy like Skittles and all that, and make
All of it. Yeah, so much.
those things are like $3,000. The ones I've looked at, I'm like,
Yeah, they're a little expensive.
I don't think so. They're wondering if they can on top and on a glass top electric stove. Don't know if it's too heavy. That I wouldn't have a clue. Comfort of your friend said, "I'm afraid of getting sick if I can myself." That would be me.
That would be me too, because I wouldn't know what I'm doing, if I'm doing it right, or, you know.
Some of that stuff.
I remember seeing my grandmother do it when I was a child, and like it seemed like such a process, like an all-day process. Like I would be afraid I would leave out one of the important steps and get sick myself.
I would think it would be fun. I mean, I have done it once to do like jellies and jams. But when it comes to soups and stuff like that, I'm like, some of that stuff, when it's coming out of that jar after you canned it and you pull it out of there after 6 months, it just looks sketchy to me. I don't know. I'm very picky, and I'm just like, I don't know. Roberta says, Jen, she worked as a computer aide in the school districts for 15 and 9 years in multiple school districts, regular school, after school, adult, ESL, summer school, and she loved it.
Okay, how nice. I loved teaching fourth grade, and then it just got a little harder. The kids changed a little bit, and the curriculum changed a little bit, and so I was ready for a change.
Carpenter Self Reliance said they're going to learn to can this year, they hope, and then your friend said she thinks canning would be great to do. She just freezes things. Now back to school. I taught for years in private school.
Oh, did you? What grade did
Yes.
you teach?
I've taught basically every grade there is. Mostly high school is my favorite.
Really? Okay.
But all my kids were in private school except for my oldest son. He went 1 year in public school, and that was to kindergarten.
I taught several grades in elementary school, but fourth was like where my heart really was, and what I enjoyed fourth grade, because they're still like sweet, but at the same time you can still be sarcastic with them, and they have like a good sense of humor, and they're kind of starting to grow up, but they're not like, they don't get smart with you just yet. They're about there, but not quite.
Yeah, I pull my kids out off and on, and homeschooled them, or sometimes I would just send them to school and I just took the year off, as far as working. But yeah, you see a lot out of kids. And as the generations go on, it's changing.
Yes, that's what I started to notice. So,
If I would have talked to my parents the way these kids talk to their parents,
Hmm.
I'd be spitting teeth, figuratively speaking. I mean, but I noticed the last few years that I worked in school, you dealt with more out of the parents than you did the children. The parents were worse than the kids, and I'm like, there's something wrong with this picture.
My sister-in-law is a librarian at our local school here, and she has been for years, but she tells me they have to deal with the parents more often than most of the kids,
Worse than
you
the
know?
times.
It's sad.
well, and my thing too is that I'm creative and I like to think outside of the box, and I am organized and I do stuff like that. So like I like to have my classroom like as my classroom and do what the kids kind of needed like that particular year. So it wasn't like, I might do something completely different the next year. Like I wanted to kind of meet all the kids. And with the curriculum, it was to the point that every grade level was supposed to be doing the same thing at the exact same time. And that took away all my creativity as a teacher, I felt. And I felt like I wasn't reaching my kids on the level that they needed.
Wow. Thanks for coming in, Suburban. We appreciate it. You have a
Hi,
nice.
suburban homesteader.
Um, and another thing you would run into is you try to be and have structure in the classroom and structure in the school as a whole, but
Right.
that structure is not reinforced at home.
Yes, that's true.
So therefore, you start over every morning and you face the same battle. And when they can't fall into the structure that's at the school, and they go home and they complain to mama and daddy, or else mom and daddy or grandparent or whoever it may be is not going to reinforce that. But they're going to take the kid's side, and it's a vicious cycle. It is.
It is. And I think we're going to realize that. And we're going to kind of go back to maybe the way things used to be. I guess we're going to
Mhm.
kind of realize that we're maybe entitling the kids a little bit and not letting them, we're actually not letting kids fail anymore at anything at all. The lowest grade we could put in the grade book when I left was like a 70. So that's impossible. You can do no work and still, make it come out of the class with a C or a D. And that's, not
Not
showing
learning.
kids that their effort, you know what I'm saying? Like the effort and the grade just didn't match.
There's no want to anymore. There's no, I don't know. Parents don't focus on teaching,
Right.
but what the parents are failing to realize is your kids is what's going to be running the country next.
Exactly.
If they lack the education, they lack the respect, they lack morals, they lack um, responsibility. What is it going to be like? I mean, you're raising tomorrow. Is what you're raising. That's the way I look at it. Maybe I'm different, but Roberta said she brought a 4.5-foot iguana in for show and tell. Also, her rescue opossum for show and tell. The kids and the staff love them, and they're great for lessons. She says it's a terrifying idea that those kiddos will be running this country. Hello, Colored Drop.
I agree.
I don't know how you could touch an iguana, girl. Whew.
But that was one thing I loved in school was show and tell.
Yes.
I remember that. I mean, it was fun. It's fun for the kids. I don't know if they still do it in school or not. Not that I hear of, but I loved it.
They might do it in kindergarten, but I know they don't do it in older grades.
Yeah. I don't know. Now my kids are all graduated and and everything. And I've got grandkids coming up, and I'm like, what's it going to be for them? You know, really. I mean, I've got a grandbaby that'll be a year old in March. What's the world going to be when he turns 18? That one that's just going to be 5. What's it going to be when she turns 18? You know,
The world is changing, and it's changing quick, it seems like.
rapidly.
Hello, the color drop.
Roberta said she would do it in her computer lab, and the teachers would see her pets and do a lesson based on her critters. That's neat.
That is pretty cool.
The little guys love things like fish and crabs and like little hermit crab things, and just something that they can, you know, interact with and have a part of, and in their care and everything. Have you got children?
I don't really talk about that on social media. I'm like really weird about that.
I understand that.
Sorry.
That's no problem.
There's just like, I don't know, it's just, I'm weird about stuff like that.
I don't blame you.
I try not to talk about my family at all, like do any family stuff at all, which is really
No, I
hard to have a
understand.
channel and not talk about family stuff, but I try to like,
That's
because
why.
when I decided to do my channel even before I got sick, it was my it was my decision, and I did not ask anybody in my family if they were okay with the decision or anything. I just kind of said, oh, I started this channel, and so like it's just a private thing for me. So I just kind of,
There's nothing wrong with that. That's a very wise decision. That's why you don't see my grandbabies on here, or you know, you'll rarely ever see any of my family. Once in a while.
exactly. And like I've told my family, you know, I will talk about myself all day long, and I can tell you, you know, anything about myself, but like I try to respect their privacy and the fact that this is
totally
not something that they asked me to do, or you know, whatever.
Right. That's totally understandable. But anyway, so do they expect your heart to go above 50% or 55%? Or are they?
They're optimistic. So I don't know. We'll have to see Monday. I'm kind of scared to go Monday, to get the echo, because like I'm scared that, you know, what if it's, you know, dropped a little bit. But we'll see. But yeah, they're more optimistic than they were at first. I think at first they didn't think I was going to make it. So you know, that was kind of their focus, but I think that I will recover full. I don't think I will recover fully, but I will be on medicine for in some shape or form forever.
Right.
So, but I mean,
Do you have,
go ahead.
I'm sorry,
No, go
do
ahead.
you have like trouble, like, I mean, when you're up and about and doing stuff around the house, do you feel like you lose energy or your chest bothers you or anything?
No, I would have absolutely no idea that I had this.
Really? Wow.
None whatsoever. I am kind of deconditioned from my time in the hospital, and then when I started to kind of regain my strength and energy from that, that's when my defibrillator malfunctioned, and it kind of put me in a lot of anxiety because I was terrified, because I was told that if my defibrillator ever went off, I would be unconscious. And I'm awake and it goes off. And I was holding a relative's baby when it went off, and it
Wow.
kind of knocked the baby across the room. So I had a lot of anxiety from that. So I sat around more than I should have, and I had to have revision surgery, so that, you know, required some sitting around. So I kind of, you know, I have to get strength built back up. But like, as far as like my breathing's fine. I have no like if I look up symptoms of any of this, I don't have any. And when they take my blood, like I don't have any fluid. Like I weigh myself every day to make sure I don't have any fluid, and I don't have any fluid or anything like that. So
That's awesome.
I'm extremely fortunate, and I do not have to take fluid pills, which is very nice.
That's good. That's really good.
Yes.
That's
But
our
will I
thing.
always have to watch it? Yes, I'm sure, because they did tell me that you can be in the recovered group, but you always have to kind of want, like anytime you get sick or anything, you have to be very careful that you don't get back to where you were. So they just kind of watch you more closely.
Kind of preventative.
Yes.
But
So there is a category, which they didn't tell me about it until my heart started to get better. But there is a category called heart failure. It's called like heart failure. I can't remember the term that they use. Recovered, basically. So they just kind of keep that in your chart just so that other people are, like if you ever go to the doctor, they're aware that you did have that happen and that it could happen again. But I expected to have a full recovery.
definitely, that's what our hope and prayers are for you.
Yes.
We'll be going live with Tiffany Wednesday.
Yes, that's right. Yes.
Chatterbox is usually on Tuesday at noon. We're going to move it to Wednesday this week because of something that's come up. So Wednesday at noon Central, Tiffany from Small Town 6 will be the guest on Chatterbox Gals, and we are looking forward to that.
Yes.
Does the collaboration with her as I do too, and it's been a lot of fun. I've enjoyed it. And,
Tiffany's really sweet. You'll love having
very
her on.
sweet. Very sweet. I don't see how she does everything. I'm like,
I know.
she's constantly on the move, it seems like. But
She is. She needs to bottle up her energy and sell it.
for real, she'd be really rich.
I need some energy. I need some of her energy then, because I don't know where mine has went. I just don't have much energy.
I told Marlon when he came, my husband, when he came home, I was like, my legs have just feel like spaghetti. He's like, it's probably because you've been in the bed. Which today is really the first day in 2 or 3 days that I've been up a lot. And I've made myself get up today. I'm like, it's time to move. Gotta get up. So,
I'm glad you're feeling better.
but, well, thank you. I'm been so glad that you came on today. You have an
Well, thank
awesome.
you so much for having me.
It's nice to meet you. I'm sorry to hear about your story, but I pray that everything, gets better for you.
It's okay, and it will. And thank you. It was so nice to meet you guys, or to meet you.
Kind of sort of face
And
to
to be
face on screen.
Yes.
But I'm trying to talk Shannon into coming over and joining the collabs, or something,
I need
Should.
So
I
she
need
needs to do some organization.
I do have some organization that I need to be doing. I just haven't done it.
If I
But,
hit one of them spots and y'all don't hear from me in a few days, y'all might want to send out a search party because I probably can't get out of where I went in.
Well, I decided to do as many as I can do this year because that's going to help me to be held accountable to, get videos out. Because last year, I did a couple of videos, but my focus was on healing. And,
Right.
That was YouTube just kind of took, a backseat. And I just kind of, focused on healing. And now I'm ready to get back to things. So,
Right.
these collabs hold me accountable for that.
Yeah. Thanks for coming in, Brenda. Thanks for
Bye,
sharing.
Brenda.
You have a great day as well. I want to tell everybody thank you for coming in. Yeah.
It's good to see everyone.
Yes, thanks Shannon for being my
Oh, well, I didn't do much help, but
today.
you're welcome anytime, girl.
Jen, thanks for coming on. And
Thank you.
we'll run into y'all out on YouTube somewhere. And y'all have a good evening.
Okay.
Y'all have a good evening.
Talk to you guys later.
Uh-huh.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.